Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and I only know it takes time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now. For my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. For my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Time to run it all. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down that. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down that. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down that, check, no drip this, wet. Tell 'em run it all, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first.
Good morning all. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. Let me see how all systems go here. A small crash, but looks like we're okay. But yeah, stream seems to be crashed. I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's good. Let's get it. Yeah, later start. Daylight saving times always messes me up when we get daylight saving times. Extremely weird. And the one way to prove to yourself, because I know it feels weird, like markets are still on old time. I know it feels weird, and the best way to prove it to yourself that times have shifted is if you go look at your spread on something like DAX, you'll still see spread is high, even though Frankfurt should have been open, but it's not open. It will be open in an hour. So that's a good way to mentally prove it to myself that you know, times have changed. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the analysis here. Have a look. So today is going to be a very interesting week. So daylight saving times, also last week of the month. And then going into next week when we start November, elections November the 6th. So gonna be some interesting times here, quite condensed. So we have daylight savings. Now this week here, I'll let few more people show up before I discuss about daylight savings. It's weird because this is the week where the 4-hour candles are out of sync with New York, because New York hasn't switched time. If you look at New York here, New York will switch, should be from either Saturday. Yeah, there we go. So they switch on the 3rd here. Then we get back into all alignment here and everything goes back as normal. And then again, elections on the 5th, sorry, my bad. On the 5th, we have elections on the 5th. And yeah, looking at, looking at the week here, first Friday of every month, NFP week as well. So end of month, NFP week. So normally we have first Friday of the new month, but the new month is actually starting on Friday. So we will have NFP on this week. So it's an NFP week, daylight saving change week, and it's elections for the JPY, and it is also the week where we're out of sync. So extremely packed week in terms of events happening. So we'll have to see how this pans out. It's going to be very interesting to see what markets do. Obviously, we've been already showing this is somewhat of a exciting week before the week has even started, as we opened up on a gap here on GJ, opened up here on a gap on gold here as well. That gap has been filled here, got a nice little close above here. I was looking at this to see if I would have actually traded this. Of course, this being the first day of the new times, I need to see what time volume is coming in. This came in a little bit earlier than usual, 9:45. So even out of the question before. Now what's interesting, there was no 5-minute structure, so I don't know if I was there at the charts at that time, if I would actually consider that as an option. So yeah, we have this big gap. Looks like we're going for the gap fill at the moment, trying to fill this gap towards the upside, and we'll see what happens. If we could pull back now a little bit, I believe we could trade to fill this gap, to be honest. So let's go ahead and do the analysis here from scratch. So starting on weekly time frame, GJ weekly time frame here, obviously closing strong bullish, previous weekly not closing above here. This is a gap open, so we're actually opening up on a gap here on the weekly time frame. So we don't have a bottom wick because it's a gap open. Now this broker has filled that gap, so we are seeing that this broker has filled the gap here. Now if we were to look at daily time frame here, again same thing, no bottom wick, since we have a gap open as well. So will the gap be filled? Yes, gaps normally do get filled. Eventually, they normally get filled eventually. Doesn't mean it has to happen in today's session, but eventually they do get filled here. So if we look at bias is technically still bullish here. So gives us a little bit of problems looking for sells, but I wonder if today we can make an excuse, to take the sells based on a gap fill here, right? Based on a gap fill. So let's go ahead and mark this 4-hour here as well. That's pretty much all we need, is this 4-hour here as well. 4R. So we tapped into this previous 4-hour resistance. We made a little bit of a higher 4-hour. We did close above, so this is not closed yet, but if this closes, we'll make a little bit of a higher one. So bias is bullish at the moment. Buys do make sense. We have a little bit of support, which is the previous 4-hour resistance, so that might be a retest zone. All of this below where that DR, all of this here is a gap. So the gap is pretty far away. If we were to look at that as a measurement wise, it's like 97 pips from where we are right now. So do we fill the gap right now? It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to fill the gap right now. It's mostly bullish bias here, but that gap below is going to act like a little bit of a magnet and be on the back of our minds that, hey, will we get the gap fill? Or does price want to drive down to fill that gap first before continuing for the rest of the week? Or do we want to hold support like this and actually start to continue up here? So it's going to be actually interesting to see. Now, if we're looking for buys today, we have retested this previous high here. Getting back inside the range can pose some options here for buys. We will have to see how that forms. Otherwise, buys above 99 will look pretty nice, to be honest. How does 1 hour? Yeah, 1 hour looks clean above there as well. And at least by then we don't have to worry about this rolling over and making a lower high and coming back and retesting the 4-hour. Obviously buys from that 4-hour do look good here as well, but again, we could see that gap fill, right? We could see that gap fill. We need to keep that in mind and let price action develop into here. So looking at gold here on the other hand, obviously we're going for this full gap fill at the moment here. Same thing, if we look at, should be back. Is that upload or download? Let me check. My whole PC is lagging. What the hell's going on, bro? I'm back, yeah. That was receive. That spike was receive. Well, I guess everything's working now. It crashed while you're talking about gold. Yeah, we'll get into it. Very weird. Anyhow, let's have a look at gold here. So as I was speaking, gold going for that wick fill and gap fill here, sorry. So what we can be looking for is any type of pullbacks to continue that. Now, if we look at weekly time frame, I was also speaking about many people looking for a gap up, but we never got that gap up. Reason we didn't get the gap up is we were priced in, right? We were priced in with what was happening and we didn't get that gap up. So if we're looking here, what's going on 4-hour time frame, you know, we're looking like we need to just go and fill this gap here and complete the gap fill, but we pretty much completed. That's that gap pretty much filled here. Yes, we have all the way up to here. I want to see if we can try capitalize off this, if we can get some sort of pullback here to go and trade a little bit higher. Right now we're sitting at this previous resistance here, which we can see a little bit of rejection at. As we can see a little bit of rejection here from that previous resistance. So we'll see how this forms and see if we can do something. So you're downloading something, not you, but an app on your PC. Maybe it's Zoom, because Zoom always crashes first. We'll have to check it. Yeah, we'll have to check it. Hi, I thought you had 900 Mbps internet. I do have 900 Mbps internet. Do you need to take 10 minutes to check all is okay? I don't know. Ask Claudio. I'm trying to look what took my network, but it's all normal stuff. Spotify had a massive network spike. Look at Spotify. Could this have done it? Is this enough to do it? Is that enough to do it? 1000 MB spike? Yeah, I can hear you. This is app history, resources usage, and this was network. This is network here. Yeah, but it spiked. Look how much it spiked. 1000 MB. Yeah. So it can't be this. Yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah, the full picture of this is this. You can see everything's normal. But this spiked, huh? That's why I'm thinking. I'm trying to look what caused it though. Yeah. Well, it looks okay now. We seem to be running okay now. Yeah, we seem to be okay. We'll see what happens. Okay. Leave the man to analyze the market. I know, right? This happened a few months ago. It did, right? It did. I think it's something from my ISP, man. It must be just something from my ISP. Some sort of because this happens sometimes when I play games. Sometimes I get super high ping and I reset my internet and it's fine. So this must be coming from my ISP. So in that palaver, we did miss the setup 4 here, which is unfortunate. I don't know if I would have taken. Well, let's see. It looks pretty good actually, to be honest. Not gonna lie, guys. That looked pretty good here, to be honest. 22 pips for 19, 20 pips. Would have seen. But yeah, let's get it. Let's go and finish the rest of the analysis here. All good, all good. All right, now we can lock in. Disable local files in Spotify. I will. We'll sort this after. If it crashes again, we'll have to do it before, but we'll try sort this after, bro. I appreciate it. Okay. How many of us in here? 300. Appreciate everyone showing up. I know times have changed, so daylight saving times have changed, meaning that London is about to open in an hour from now. I know it seems weird, but to prove to yourself that time has changed, go ahead and check the spread on DAX. You'll see DAX spread is high right now. DAX spread is high, meaning that Frankfurt is still closed. And yes, that's how it's gonna be. Say we took that setup for. Yeah, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. Break even now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. We'll see if this wants to continue that lower high, but as a shot, at least to get to break even at this resistances here or somewhere up here, it's fine. Now we'll see what price wants to do. Does it want to create this lower high? We are in like a session downtrend, right? We can see that lower high, lower low, so it might want to do that. But bias is bullish, so if bias carries here, you'll be fine. More buys are going to be above here. I can take more buys there. I'm not too worried. And yeah, that's the analysis here. I got burned by no top wick last week. Depends on your broker. This has a nipple wick here, cold nipple for winter arc, cold nipple right there, and that's about it. On my broker, it has that same thing. And yeah, so I want to also have a look at DAX here. We will see how DAX is looking. DAX is looking interesting. Let's go ahead and remove drawings. We can do fresh analysis here. Daily time frame, start off on daily time frame, moving back towards this daily resistance up here. No bottom wick on this current daily, which is not the best. Is this a gap? I need to check on broker. It is a gap, so we have that same stupid gap here on DAX as well. So this is a gap here as well. So bias is mixed bias today. Previous daily closing bearish, previous 4-hour closing bullish. This is a gap here. So it's the same. This is also a gap. So if price wants to come fill this gap, we can look for gap fills here. If not, buys above here do look pretty okay, to be honest. See how 4-hour, what 4-hour saying, that looks fine there. 1 hour, what 1 hour saying. 1 hour has a resistance above here, but it is carried by a wick. 30-minute cascading. Don't we love cascading? We haven't tested the 30, so 30 will still be relevant, but we've tested the 1 hour, so we need to keep that in mind. So let's see how price forms, to be honest. Give it some time. If price wants to come and fill this gap, then actually we could start looking for that. If price changes structure from up here, we can actually look for the sells as well. We can look for the sells as well if price wants to change structure and come back down and try play the gap fill here. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Gold pulling back, like we said, from that zone. So if this can create structure, something interesting as well we can look for to try retest back into, you know, complete the full gap fill here. But yeah, we're playing with gaps. Mind the gap. Mind the gap. So let's have a look. So that's the plan here. That's the plan for GU as well. GU, I'm interested to see what we can do from this spot. I gave it a shot this morning to try hold a swing trade, but it's pulling back, so I got out at break even on that. I spoke about on the webinar the swing trade I'm looking here. So this could just give me more opportunity now to re-enter on that. Gonna keep a close eye on that. 4-hour time frames closing bearish here. Any retests into here could be good to create a lower high to continue down. Previous daily as well closing bearish here. At the moment, of course, we're rejecting right now, but we need to see what's going to happen. So if we can create some form of resistance, oops, any type of close below this 15-minute here, I'm going to be pretty interested in potential sells below here. This is going to be the same setup as this morning. Same setup as this morning, right? Where we get this close below, continuation, close below, continuation. Even if we pop up a little bit higher now, I'm happy as well to look for potential sells. Yeah, I'm happy to look for potential sells, retest of previous 4-hour support, and look for that to, you know, continue down, continue down. Remember 500? Yeah, we can keep an eye on that for sure. But right now we're not reacting. Actually, we did react here on it. So once we break that wick, should be a-okay. Just worried that 4-hour high was broken on 4-hour. It's good though because it grabbed liquidity, right? Because now it has no reason to kind of create lower high structure. It's grab liquidity from previous 4-hour high. People trying to get a bit sneaky. It invalidates sell setup on 4-hour? No, because sell setup on 4-hour would be from this one here. So this is the 4-hour high that has to be respected because that was the sell setup, the first close below. The second one is just continuation. So yeah, daylight saving times, make sure you check that. US will adjust next week. So this is always a shitty little week because we have to experience some BS here. And the BS we have to experience is we have 4-hour candles closing at wrong times, right? Because the 4-hour closes are not going to be aligned with London until next week when the US clocks change themselves. So US need to change their clocks and then it becomes... yeah, then it becomes that. You know? Just testing you? That's a lie. Not joking. Harry, can you please analyze US 30? What are you looking at US 30, Simon? I'll tell you if I agree. We've just done a ton of analysis. I don't want to bore people just now, so we'll have a look at it in a minute, but let me see what you're looking at. Let me put in likes. Please do YouTube business. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, leave a like. You guys know the drill here. Hate to say it, part of the game. Can you analyze gold? Can you analyze gold? Internal, yeah. If you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. See how it's pulling back here. Yeah, could create actually a setup 2 here. How's 1 hour looking? Interesting gap. How does this look with smooth candles? Fill it to there. Harry, do you enter with full quantity that you deploy on your trade, or you first enter with half? Always full quantity, because if I'm entering with half, then it's just going to be a half risk trade. I expect my entries to be as accurate as possible. So I don't want to try layer in. The only time I layer in is maybe a swing position where the ranges are so big in your swing that you can look to enter in different areas. So an example I could show you is maybe the last swing that I took would be an easier example here. If you look at this last swing here, let me show you this on MetaTrader. I entered here on a short. I could have re-entered another short once this 4-hour candle closed bearish here, but I was full risk from this initial position. But in this idea, this is a 4-hour time frame, keep that in mind, right? So since this is a 4-hour time frame, let's get a bigger picture of this. Since this is a 4-hour time frame, when I enter short here, this is 4 hours. Like, these are all 4-hour candles, so this takes its time. This will allow me maybe to enter another position here. I could layer in like this when I expect it not to be a direct move. But the problem is, if this was a direct move, then you miss your opportunity. So it's tricky. It's tricky like that, you know? It's tricky. I prefer not. With the gap, yeah, it has that little thing. Yep. Also, that candle highlighted, showing you it's a gap. GJ buys played out setup 4. I know. I didn't manage to capitalize on that. That's unfortunate for me. I was actually looking at that. We spoke about closing back in the range, but I didn't have internet. I couldn't see the charts. I didn't have internet. I was running around unplugging my Wi-Fi and replugging it. It's unfortunate, but if you guys actually made a plan today, then this would be in your plan. I can see some guys in the exclusive took this. Sebi took it here, which is nice to see. So yeah, valid here, sitting at break even, comfortable, pretty good to be honest, pretty good. So some guys in YouTube chat also took this, which was nice to see. So yeah, that's how it is. Was there a setup on the 30-minute just now for the GJ? Setup on 30-minute? No, not on 30-minute. On 15 would be the only one. Too early for me? Yeah, I need to get used to the time, but setup was there. Bullish bias, look for setup 4 back inside the range. Could just sit at break even now, but yeah, I would have to be locked on me. I didn't have internet. Thing I can do about that, but I would like to see the plans that we sent. Let's see how it's looking like. This for DAX, I saw this was okay. Buys above, yes. If we got structure, would have been nice. Valid. Early buys, I like that. I don't think those are early buys. I think those are valid buys. I think they'd be, if anything, a little bit later. And I'd prefer to go above key level at that point. But that's valid. Yeah, that was the setup 4, or from 4-hour support. Yep, I like that. So setup 4 happened. Did you take the setup 4? GJ plan, gap here, looking for buys above key level, yes. Buy setup 5, yeah, I like that as well. Even deeper you can also look. So buy even if we come back to 4-hour support, right? Like I mentioned. Like to see setup 5, 4, 2 for sells. Yep. I agree with that. Sell option, yep, agreed. I won't sell the continuation today. It will be a little bit late. So if we can't get in here, here's too late for me, right? Pullback, continuation, makes sense. It could pull back where it wants to. It doesn't have to only pull back to 40, but let it pull back to where it wants to. Let's see, buys above here once we do this. Yeah, that buy probably I would not take during this session because we have bearish buys. Probably by next session. Even if 2 structures broken, it's late. Sells back below the key level, okay. Fine, sell setup 5 there as well, cool. Sell below, continuation, like I said with ends plan, I wouldn't do it. I know I did not. I was watching that 5-minute rejection. I was going to ask you. I wouldn't be worried about 5-minute rejection since you're trying to follow bias. So it's not really a rejection. It's just a doji. It didn't reject the resistance. The resistance is up here. You know, this was just creating a bottom wick. So if you look at this, this was your entry candle. This candle here, that was your entry candle. That entry candle closed back inside of the range, right? We rejected key level, closed back inside. okay, maybe you have an argument if it closed at this resistance. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit scary. But you would have entered as soon as it made a bottom wick, right? And then flipped. So as it made its bottom wick, you would have been triggered anyways, and then it would have continued here. I think it was pretty valid, to be honest. It was. After 9 o'clock Italian time, London is open now? Yes. Did your clocks change in Italy as well? It should have, right? Any specific reason not trading UJ? I don't trade every single pair, right? I don't want to be trading every single pair. It's just not in my... I can't manage that. And the reason I chose GJ over UJ is I'm trading London session. And London session is the GBP here, right? GBP against the JPY. So I rather trade the GBP during a GBP session. Gold trying to bounce out of here. No active setup sixes, which is a shame. This would have been a good scenario. This is continuing. Shall set an alert here in case we get sidetracked, as I do like those sells. We'll also check it once every 30 minutes because another way we can sell 30-minute closes as well. Jesus, people not being able to Google time in London to find out when it's open based on their local time is just pathetic. Yeah, it happens every year. You can see, look, there's only 300 people in stream. Like, that's how lost people are. Like, that's it. You stream 1 hour later, all lost. Of course, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but, like, it's crazy. Like, imagine, like, people need to be on the ball. Like, if it wasn't for me telling people daylight saving times is shift, they're just going to be trading the same and not understanding what's happened. Especially if you're trading something like indices. Because if you're trading indices, you're going to be trading outside of volume times, you know? But the people who live in those countries that shift, it doesn't make a difference, right? It doesn't make a difference. Better just to check spread. That's how you can convince yourself, right? That's how you can convince yourself. I have hit my first TP of the week already. 100 pips on CAD buys. Nice, bro. Beautiful, beautiful. Morning, everyone. Let's smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you have not. Today is a beautiful day, and we can't wait for more advanced trading done by Mr. Sharp. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Hi, brother. I'm from Pakistan. What's the best broker for me? Please reply. You can, best broker for you is Murg broker. Murg. I don't know, bro. Do I look like I'm living in Pakistan right now? Do I say I'm a Pakistani trader? I'm not Google, bro. I can't help you with that. You have to research. Do research. Go and watch videos, real videos, reviews. Check what's going on in Pakistan, man. I'm not sure what broker will work for you. Valid setup 6 on UJ. Let's have a look here. No, but idea, yes. Remember, setup 6 wants to happen in the move, right? Not on just a retest. This is just break and retest, right? So this is break and retest with a setup 2 support. So this you just take as setup 2. You just take a setup 2 stop loss, you get even tighter stop loss below the previous 15 candle. No need to overcomplicate this, because remember, with that setup, we're looking for it to make the move and then come back during that move and continue. So it should have happened here. Should have happened here, from here. Not create all new price action and then you trade something different. This you might as well, this is where you can't forget about old setups. Not old, but you can't forget about the easy setup, which is just setup 2 if you're bullish bias, which you are, and then just take stop loss below the candle. Now you get tight to stop loss and better trade. Even if all that happened during non-volume time, if what all happened during non-volume time. GJ buy targets? Yeah, it's unfortunate with that setup 4 buy, man. That was the one. All the mess around zone, yeah, exactly. Because then it wouldn't be valid. It has to happen in a trending move. Setup 6 is kind of like in a current move. You're looking to capitalize of a current move. It could end up ranging afterwards because you're trading inside of the range, but it has to be in the current move. Otherwise, it's just break and retest. Think about it. It creates structure, then it comes back, retest it later. It's a different thing that. And look, if you took the setup 2 there, it's much better. Yeah, this setup 4, beautiful, man. It's a real shame that this had to happen today. Everything shut down, but hey, you can't complain with something outside of your control. This is why I always, you see, literally 5 minutes of me not being at the charts. Many people maybe might have missed out on this trade because they couldn't plan for it. That's why I'm here every single day trying to teach you the skill, you know. Everything happened early today. It's interesting. I mean, GJ, I won't say it happened a little bit earlier. About this would be equivalent of 9:30. It's gonna take a week for all the times to adjust, man. You're gonna see a lot of randomness. Also, it being NFP week as well, because remember, US has not adjusted, so you'll get moves super late. If price wants to actually adjust with London Open, you'll get moves earlier, like how it was before, until the New York clocks change, because all the 4-hour candles are messed up right now. So this is a week that you need to be on your A game. You should always be on your A game. Now, it's not going to be a problem for me because this is straightforward, but if you're someone who's rushing into positions, this is a week where you need to make extra emphasis to really study what has been happening in the sessions. How is price moving during the session? I do that anyways. It's just part of my routine now, but if you don't, this would be an extra week, especially it being end of the month. Don't end your month wrong here. Don't mess yourself up end of month, especially when we have elections next week, we have news week this week, we have NFP this week, and we have daylight saving time shift, you know. It's gonna throw off a bit of dynamics in the market. And remember, small dynamic shift make massive differences as a trader. So be adaptive this week. Be adaptive, follow sturdy plans, follow something that's gonna make sense here. So it doesn't mean you have to trade it any different, just means you need to be on your A game, making sure you understand what's happening in the charts, what's moving when and why, right? Like if you see a move happen late, let's say a move happens in a hour and a half here, that normally we wouldn't take that, but it would be valid to take. But remember, an hour and a half from now, or an hour and 45, the 4-hour will close because 4-hour candles hasn't adjusted. So you will be taking, like I said, you'll be taking the trade. So even though volume time is still active because London would have just opened, the 4-hour candle is now closing right at that time. So you need to be extremely careful because 45 minutes after London Open today, we are going to have a new 4-hour candle close. So if you don't know that, you're going to trade at a 4-hour candle open, get snapped, and you're going to be like, damn, what happened? Because 4-hour candle's opening. So you're going to get that price action that you would have got from a 4-hour. No, Frankfurt market opened 14 minutes ago. Frankfurt market opened 14 minutes ago. To prove that, we can check spread of something like DAX. DAX spread should have settled, and it has. So yeah, time zone has shifted. Look, this close below here might create a resistance here. How's gold doing? Gold created support, not much range towards the upside. Setup 1 looks a lot more juicier here in my opinion. We get a nice little breakout move. Oh wow, DAX actually moved like it was London Open. Was that? No, that was before. Actually, Not really. So if this can create structure now, we can look for buys. Buys should be pretty straightforward. Because now we're in this pretty clean zone, to be honest. This is pretty clean on the 1 hour, at least back towards this 1 hour resistance up here. So hopefully we can create some structure for stop loss. And we can look for that move. We can look for that move. Based on a 15-minute, not going to be worth it with this stop loss here. Don't want to be running 500 pip stop loss or 50-point stop loss. Harry, oil analysis. Oil analysis is a little bit tough at the moment. We're a little bit more bearish here on oil. We opened with this massive gap. I think this is like maybe a 3% gap. 5% gap. Absolutely nuts, man. 5% gap down is crazy. Retrace all of these last week's moves towards the upside more than last week. How many days worth of upside? 9 days, so almost, yeah, you could say 1 week worth of upside. Retrace that in a gap open here. As we start to see geopolitical tensions calm down, you have to understand the fundamentals of oil. We have announced, oil is very fundamentally based. If you don't understand fundamentals in oil, I wouldn't be trading oil higher time frame here. So understanding what is the fundamentals of oil right now. Well, if we look at stuff, geopolitical tensions kind of having a resolution, why we gap down on gold. We're also seeing USD strength come into the market here. It's why it's sending stuff like USD CAD, all USD pairs, seeing some strength, right? Second reason, what are we seeing here? We are also seeing that supply, there's been an announcement of increase in supplies, if I'm announced for 2025 season coming here, not a supply cuts. So with supply cuts, obviously oil prices will increase, but they're not announcing that. So this is why we're seeing this, right? Missed the gold move, was pissed. I was taking it from 33 to fill the gap at 41. Broken phone didn't let me log in due to maintenance. Don't worry, man. My internet went down. Don't know what's going on. They're trying to stop us. I think this trade also here, it looks good because it played out. But at the time, I might have hesitated. Not talking about you, but for me, because of no 5-minute structure. Especially it being that early, I would have been like, yeah, I probably want 5-minute structure here. Euro market still not open. You guys need to use Google. You need to learn how to use Google. You need to learn how to use a clock. I know it can be confusing, but come on, guys. Don't be like this. You have to be locked in. 50-minute above on gold was valid also. That's the same thing I'm talking about. You don't know if you're going to hesitate without 5-minute structure there. It's just a straight push for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 candles. Oh, this one? No, I won't count that valid for me, no. Because look where you're buying, man. Market positioning, right? So you need structure to form to make a new range and then break that range. This is the continuation from this. Oh, you're talking about now. Okay, yes. Now, yes. But before, just as this 15 closed, no. London opened 18 minutes ago. No, London is opening in 40 minutes, guys. Frankfurt opened 18 minutes ago. Daylight saving times has shifted. US daylight saving times. Look, daylight savings. You can read the daylight savings here. Move back by 1 hour now. So we go 1 hour ahead. Right? We go 1 hour ahead. If you live... Right, if you live in UK, should be around 7 a.m. right now in UK, if I'm not wrong. 7:20 a.m. So your clocks, even though your body clock will still be on all time, the clock that it says on the wall will be 7:20. Listen, daylight savings is stupid, but the only reason that they're keeping daylight savings, it was meant for the farmers. But the only reason they still keep it till this day is so many programs, softwares, and computer systems are coded off daylight savings to automatically adjust. And Unix time gets extremely complicated. I won't go into details. All people who code probably understand this with Unix time. and it will mess up Unix time, right? It will mess up Unix time if they remove daylight savings, because there's a system that adjusts for that and accounts for that. Maybe it's them being lazy. I'm not any type of coder myself. In the same time, most bugs in DST happens. Yeah, exactly. I think it's a what do you call it? Double-edged blade, if that's what you call it. You know. I think Harry needs help from the legendary trader with the YouTube peeps. I think he's got upset with his village. He gave them signals and they seem to have blown it here before the last week here. So we need to support him. So any time difference for the US in the UAE? Yes, that will happen next week, right? Europe has adjusted this week. Next week, US will adjust and the times will be aligned. If you're in the UAE, India, Africa, all countries that do not adjust their time zone, you will just have to shift your time. 11:22 is probably before when I was wrapping up stream, right? But now the times have shifted and now I'm moving where I'm moving ahead. So my whole schedule changes. I really don't like it. Today is a very messy day for me, because everything changes. What time I go to sleep, what time I wake up, everything in my schedule has to get shifted by an hour. My planned meetings during the week, all of this stuff, man. It's very complex. Wow. Good morning, GU. So this is, remember guys who have watched the webinar, right? This is what we're talking about. Once we get 4-hour close, anything coming back up into this area here starts to leave it again downside. Yeah, it seems good, man. Seems solid. Especially into this resistance zone somewhere up here. Lost that FNGU trade. It was good earlier. Yeah, but I would recommend once we get past this and you see something closing back in the range, you have to be cautious, because if your entry is here, man, you're in a safe position. Just go break even. Even DAX, let's see what DAX is doing. Man, yeah, DAX is still moving up here. We need some sort of structure to be formed. Otherwise, you have nowhere to put stop loss. So we'll let that happen. Gold is dumping. Yeah, gold failed to form support here. 30-minute close bearish. Counter trend. We are bullish bias on gold, right? Previous daily bullish, previous 4-hour bullish. I'm super tempted if this was to close like this to maybe attempt sells. Let's see. We could look to capitalize off that. Maybe below 50 minutes at F6. Straight into P15. Well, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. Now, yes, but it wouldn't have. If retest structure forms, yeah, we can look for buys if that happens. If we get retest structure form, not just structure form, support form. We don't need structure. We just need a support. One 5-minute bearish candle on DAX enough? Nah, that would be just like a continuation trade. But I noticed those get hit. Like if you just take this now at close, I notice you get absolutely wrecked. You need something like this. I mean, setup 3 could be an option though. So if you get a setup 3 plus the 5 minute, yeah, it'll be your aggressive option. Why not close the watch list and watch gold and GJ side by side? Because I'm making decisions based on 15-minute candle closes most of the times. So realistically, I just need to check every 15 minutes what's happening. And in between, I can be planning and discussing. GJ looking like it's creating, I mean, to be honest, it looks like a nice short here, but you'd be going counter bias here, and that's where it becomes dangerous. Gold playing out that silly sell here that I really wanted to capitalize off, but anyways, maybe setup 2, but we're bullish bias, so I would need to have but I expect these type of weird inconsistencies this week. Maybe I've been noticing last week and this week we've had a lot of counter bias moves actually play out once. So you get one counter bias move, one shot. So if we see this, which I've seen today on Monday, if I see a counter bias move during the week, I will give it a shot. Just be aggressive because look, I've noticed them. You know, they're moving pretty fast. Why on MT4 German 30 is DE40? It's just how it is. It's just how people name it. Could be called German 40, DE40, DE30 as well. As long as the price action looks the same, then you're fine. As long as the price action looks the same, which it does for me. Do you trade Bitcoin? I invest in Bitcoin. What is GBPJ? It's GBP against the JPY. Exactly what its name says. Its name says. I mean, this looks nice, man. This looks nice for shorts, but looks like we want to continue up. Due to daily resistance, or you'd wait for shorts still formed? Well, due again, all markets moving counter trend today. I'm noting counter bias. Everything's moving counter bias, except it is at the moment. So, yeah, of course you can start to look for that counter trend type move here. But the problem is like where we're gonna trade till. So I'd recommend that structure needs to be formed so you can get a tight stop loss. If you can get a tight stop loss, yeah, you can take it back up into you know, past daily resistance, past this 4-hour resistance. We should just change to daily resistance now. But till that happens, then you know you could actually be on the short side here, looking for shorts. DAX form structure. Yeah, this is what we want to see, right? So if anything can leave this now, we can potentially look for buys. Pretty tight, but will allow us at least to get to break even. About 10 points, 11 points away. So yeah, structure forming here is good. Sell gold. It was a plan to sell gold, yes, but at the moment here it's already pushed through, right? 15 minutes pushed through. We can look for pullbacks back into this zone here to look for sells. How GJ close for you guys, bullish or bearish on 30 minute? On broker? Check for you. Bearish. I was looking for counter trend sell. Yeah, it does make sense, to be honest. It does make sense. Problem is, will we get slapped for trying counter trend? That's the thing. It's always scary, you know? But it makes sense. Maybe if it breaks this low here, could be okay. But damn, counter trend is waiting 5 below. Yeah, it's a tricky one, man, because everything else has been counter trend. But if one thing is going to disrespect counter trend, it's going to be GJ. Out of every pair out there, this is the one you're going to get screwed for counter trend for sure. Like, I can feel confident about that. Like, this is the time you lose, you know? Let's see. I mean, now it's making a top wick. We could be aggressive. See what stops are looking like. We could just put the safe stop here, just 16 pip stop, 19 pip target if it was to continue. How do you know? I'm super tempted right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, super tempted. But I know if I lose this, how pissed I'm gonna be. I wonder if it's worth like half risk then, you know? Dilemma between following the rules and taking a shot, basically. But it's like a shot you're taking that's more estimated because we've seen a lot of counter trend play out. So I guess it's a shot that is not that crazy. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we know that higher time frame looking like it wants to move up a little bit more than move down. Well, 5 will close here. 5 close doji, it looks pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'll give it at least like 75.75 risk. Once next 5 minute opens, makes top wick, and then breaks low. At least a shot. 5 close below now as well. Top wick being made. I feel like I kind of have to give it a shot. Just to try it. Alright. That broke it on my broker. Giving it a shot. Stop loss above 15 like we discussed. Let's see. So far, it's all right. This previous 30, even though we crossed through it twice, it's also a previous 15. We can have a look what price wants to do there. So far, moving well. Nice, nice, nice. I think at this point here, I'm going to move stops to break even. I don't think we have to lose this. One minute's pushing pretty aggressive. I'll look to close soon. Nice. You know, I want to try leave a little bit of a runner, maybe 20% for fun, because if this can come back and go and fill, if this can fill the gap, it could be pretty interesting here. Pretty interesting to fill the gap. Pretty interesting to see if we can fill the gap. Damn, pretty harsh rejection right now. I was looking to close somewhere around there. 15 pips. Man, I should have not talked. I should have just pressed the button and closed. I was talking too much about my plan. I was talking too much about my plan. I was looking to close to leave that 20%, but I was talking too much about my plan. Need to care about myself a little bit more. But let's see. Hopefully I can get my 80, the rest of my position out. Leave 20 for fun. See if we can create a lower high on 1 minute. We should be fine. But yeah, 15 pips is solid counter trend, guys. You need to consider that. Counter trend, it's solid. Did we close below on a 5? We didn't close below here on a 5. We didn't close here below on a 5. Yeah. Got out at 625, enough for me, man. Yeah, it was, I was talking about that 20% and I should have just closed first, then talked about it. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. I don't mind, man. We're in a great position right now. If this can flip and at least give me something, we should be good to leave that 20%, let it do its job. Everything still looks good. We're just counter trend trade, counter bias trade, really. So that's the only reason. All right. Thank you, sir, GJ. We could continue, would be great. Nice. Ten seconds for this 1 minute to close. We need to close strong bearish here below this previous 1 minute to get a little bit more continuation. Oh, we didn't close below that. I'll allow it to flip though. Let's see how this goes. We're starting to slow down momentum after this rejection wick. Remember, we're counter trend here. We're counter trend. We need to be careful. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. That 5 minute support. Thought we could get a little bit deeper to close my thing here. Just have to let it do its thing. See how this 5 minute closes. 5 minute can close below here. It's good. 5 minute closes bullish here. I might have to secure something early, unfortunately. Because, yeah, especially we need to close below this line here. Otherwise, this is counter trend, and I guess I wouldn't have got out where I wanted to get out. But making something is better than nothing, I tell you that much. So we'll see how this closes in about 22 seconds, and then I can make a decision. All right, no top wick. Gonna take out something here. About 11 pips. Took out, just leaving a small little fun runner. Majority position out for about 0.5% here. Leaving the rest to run. If this can run and fill the gap, then yeah, it's gonna be a great position. That's gonna make me like another % or so. But yeah, just because no top wick, if you're still holding here, you can also take something out once it flips, would be fine as well. But yeah, or just hold it. For me, I'm gonna now be targeting the gap fill. So TP1 hit, targeting the gap fill. Really, I'm not even leaving any proper type of size, but it will actually, if it hits this down here, I make 1%, so not bad. I make 1%. I put a 7 lot on this, so risking around 750. I'm leaving just a 1 lot. So it can still do its work, which it seems like it's doing. Gap fill is actually all the way down here. Holy, if we can get all the way down here, what a position. If you're looking to secure at the 1-to-1, which is your rules, then yeah, you're pretty much there. With the no top wick, be careful. Holding but close full if it breaks 1 minute high. Valid, yes. You know that top wick area. Now you have 1 minute structure. So yeah, just leave stop there. I think that's valid as well. I agree with that. The only risk is that there is a chance once it retests the bottom of the range. I think you should close full at 18 here. 18, this little 5 minute where the catalyst of the move came from would be a good spot. But yeah, that's the trade, guys. Leave a W in chat. Nice way to start the week on an NFP week with a win here. So yeah, if you caught this trade with us, definitely leave a W. You guys are sleeping. I don't see anyone. We called this out to the T. Managed everything. Done perfect. So yeah. GJ win, huh? Back on GJ, man. Back on GJ. See it, guys. You're typing too slow. Should be like this. That's how it works, bro. That's how it works. I'm gonna joke this. I'm gonna replay this. Miss your counter trend. Yeah, it's pretty. Okay, now we're working. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I love it, man. It's so satisfying. You ask me what's more satisfying? More satisfying is making money on a trade. But I don't know. It just brings back old memories when we're trading GJ on breakouts. Man, it's been a while. But this is what I mean this week, adapting as a trader, guys. Adapting as a trader. Very important. So far I've secured 0.5%. We'll see what happens with the rest of my position. I'll update this later. If it ends up continuing further and I can secure the full 1%, I'll close everything. I'll be happy with that for today. This is a sell. This is a setup 2. And the crazy, been a while without drawdown. Yeah, right? It's pretty smooth. And new time as well. What time was that? 11:45? Not 45, sorry. 11:30. So what's very interesting about this, yo, okay there. So what's interesting about this position, guys, is that this is a position that we have been discussing since last week. We've been seeing counter bias, counter bias, counter bias, counter bias. Today on gold, counter bias move even played out. We were seeing counter bias happen on GU as well. Counter bias played out. So for me, last week we saw all GJ counter bias being playing out here. So for me, this was worth a shot. This was worth a shot just to see what happens. We obviously went, I didn't go half risk as I don't like half risk most of the time. I went 750 instead of, oh, there's your 1-to-1 hit. Congrats if you held. I'm still holding, as I said, my runner because of this reason. So yeah. So I had confidence counter trend just because everything was looking clean and we had data from previous week. Exactly, Thanos. Exactly, yes. Data from previous week and it made sense. And we have that gap. What the fuck? It doesn't want to close? Why not? Press close, press close. Manually do it then. Manually close it, bro. Manually. A question, you risk around 1% per trade. Why not you take single 1% and buy 100k and then do what you do with your live account? If you lose 1%. Yes, I can do that. Been thinking of that. Too late now? Well, you look alright though, so it's okay. You know, but it doesn't change anything both ways, right? Doesn't change. Again, didn't want to close. Bro, just press manually, bro. Stop trying to dictate your stupid position. Just manually close this right now. Have discipline and just manually close it. 18 pip banger. Harry, this was setup 4 on 15, setup 2 on 15, setup 2. Since this didn't close outside the range. So yeah. London Open in 10 minutes. We'll see what happens in 10 minutes on London Open here. .5 pip spread. Man is tripping, bro. Holy. London Open, I have some profits to play with, so maybe DAX give us something now. 30-minute close above, no top wick. Yeah, DAX creating some structures here on the 15 as well. So yeah. 2 pip is fine, 2.5 is a bit heavy. Anyways, brilliant trade. I think this was worth a shot. I think we did everything perfectly in terms of managing risk, monitoring it. Again, counter bias always a little bit iffy, but it seemed to work out based on the data we had, right? Based on the data we had. So I'm happy to see that. Make sure to leave a like on the stream there and a subscribe. And what's really funny is we talked about these pullback entries on yesterday's YouTube video. So if you haven't already watched yesterday's YouTube video, I give 14 minutes discussing about that. And yeah, it's like trading at a discount, right? So we get a discount and that was it. So maybe next video counter bias. Nah, that's in the exclusive group. Exclusive group gets that video's there, so you can watch that about counter bias. There is a way. I thought spread only counts for buys. Wait, you get triggered? No, it counts on the entry. So when you're selling entry, spread will be calculated at TP, not at entry. So your entry will be accurate, but spread will be calculated at TP, if that makes sense. Clocks went back UK on Saturday. Now, my friend, clocks went back. I know, Jason. Can you relax? I'm the one telling you guys that. There's freaking a pinned message. Why do you think I'm streaming at 12 p.m. my time? Can you relax, brother? And so for TP on sales, you got to wait for the spread to hit that level? Yes, exactly. But TP on buys, it will trigger it accurately. TP on sells, you need to put it including TP. Same with like a sell stop will trigger accurately, but a buy stop will trigger with spread. So if your spread has a little bit higher, you know. On sells, always close manually. I always close manually no matter what trade, because imagine there's a day, Claudio. Imagine there's a day where a candle comes and does this heavy, just a heavy quick push. I've had that happen, and you make so much extra money like that. You make so much extra money, so it's worth it, you know. That there's just like the candle that drives to TP keeps on driving. It keeps on driving. So you just hold, and now you know if it comes back above TP, you're gonna make your initial TP anyways. Anything here is just added bonus, which is way better, right? See if I just want to close on this pullback or what. Seems like it will catch me break even. Oh. Oh, that stopped me with spread. There was a little spike on that. So remainder is out. Remainder is out, but that was the position there. So 0.5%, I'll take it. I put the screenshot. Yeah, we did. So yeah, I'm not upset with that. I'm pretty happy with that position, to be honest. You know, I think that was overall good. Overall happy. Yeah, so sweet. First counter bias in a while, can't ask for more. True. Can't ask for counter bias. We never know with counter bias, right? Like this now can start ripping towards the upside and we start taking buys later. Like just because we took this in the session here doesn't mean that bias is not going to play true here, right? We can still take buys. Like I'm still open to take buys. If anything, this is just giving us a little bit of a bonus to take buys now. We have money to play with. So I can just put that risk on buys later and take the buys now in a minute, you know, or whenever this manages to close above 99. Because remember, that is like, this looks like a great liquidity grab now, you know. So don't lose sight of that, as that was original plan. Like you can see the sells was not the greatest move here because we've rejected extremely quickly. Look at 1 minute rejections, big 5 minute candles. Yeah, like there's much more buying pressure than selling pressure in this area here, right? Which makes sense with bias. It makes sense with bias. It only confirms our TP, yeah, which would be the correct TP, right? The support. Setup 5 would be good if it forms. Let's see how DAX is looking. I think DAX will be after London Open here. So yeah, setup 2 could be an option here with the 5 minute setup 1. That's a very beautiful, with a 5 minute setup 5, very beautiful setup, to be honest. I'll take that. But let me just go to toilet and be back, guys. Give me a sec. Do you need to force something a little bit more, you know, riskier here? You like buying a little bit higher, or just be aggressive on it. Breaks high, starts to fail, you can manage the trade and just accept that to preserve profit, But counter bias has been the way, right? Harry, you tripping? I ain't tripping, man. You just, your microphones, your speakers broke for a minute. Nothing happened with my speakers. I'm 100%. Next month, important month, guys. Next month, I call Christmas shopping month, guys. So next month is where I push to make money to go Christmas shopping, bro. We need to pay some way, and that's what happens next month. So Christmas shopping month. What would you buy cars, bro? What do you think? I'm some popping 150, 200 lots here. Are you mad? To buy a car in 1 month? Fuck's sake. Not there yet. Maybe one day, for sure. So is the goal. You never say never. I'm confident. But no, to buy for the fam, buy for the fam. Treat them well during Christmas. Always surprise. Treat my mother well. And what will you buy? I don't know. This year I need to figure out what I should buy for the fam. Buy a car? No, that would be a gift for myself. I'm talking about gifting others, guys. I'm not talking about myself here. Not talking about myself. Maybe we should do a challenge. Christmas shopping challenge. If I buy something for myself, I'll have to see. I haven't bought something for myself. The last time I bought something for myself was a watch. And then since then I've been I've just been reinvesting in businesses and stuff, to be honest. Christmas deal on PipLabs, guys. Version 4 PipLabs deal. Are you kidding me? Wait for version 4. We're coming soon. Next month, guys. Version 4. You guys are sleeping on this, man. It's coming in hot. It's coming in hot. There'll be a massive deal. A deal you'll never get. We're giving it for cost price. Like, I'm gonna just tell it straight to you guys, because you guys watch my stream. And, you're the guys who show up with me every day, right? So that we're giving it cost price. Now, the reason we give it cost price is just publicity, right? We want more people on the platform. We want people to try it. So we don't mind. We've already, as I said, not pulling much money out. We're not pulling any money out of significant out of PipLabs. We need to scale the platform, but I really believe this can be the #1 tool for traders and really help people excel and make them profitable. Like, I don't see another way to become profitable without backtesting and proving to yourself your strategy works. It's just not possible. It's not possible. Or you just spend an extreme grind forward testing on a day-to-day basis, causing yourself massive headache. Massive headache. Right, how did DAX open on this? We'll have to see what I buy. I love, guys, you want the greatest gift of all time is to give a gift. The best feeling I've had in my life was buying something that your parents could not imagine that you would be able to buy them. Like, I don't want to flex or anything, but last year I bought Van Cleef, which is an expensive jewelry company, complete waste of money. I didn't really care about that. What I care about giving the gift, and holy shit, man, the reaction is insane, because you have to remember they don't know, right? They don't expect. You're grinding hard, they don't expect. And if you can grind hard and not only that, like the gift I've given in just general expenses, man. Like, you have to remember in 2019, 2020, I told my parents, I'm like, listen, give me money to invest in crypto. They're like, no. From 2016, I told them that. They said, no. I didn't. They didn't want to give it to me. And then I convinced them to give it to me. And they gave me money. I invested it, and it did extremely well. I managed to 10x mine, 10x their investment as well. And to say, look, you have an investment now that's 10x is super rewarding. That their son is able to capitalize on their stuff. So if you do anything, just listen to your parents, give them uttermost respect, because the one thing you'll always realize, and the one thing you'll realize is that you can never pay them back. As much as we try, we could never pay them back. Like, they've done too much for us, guys. Send us through school. No matter if you've had harsh relationship with your parents, man, you're living a life that you have opportunity. So regardless if your dad left you when you're younger, your mother was an alcoholic, your dad fought, like, there's always going to be problems. Families always have problems. And if you are not blessed enough to have a good family, it's okay. Don't look at the negative side of that. Look that, okay, I was given a life. That's my job to make something out of it now. Let me break that family trend. I don't care my dad beat me when I was young. I don't care my dad used to beat my wife. That's not going to affect me, right? I need to prove and make myself happy. They brought me into this world. Why should I, let that put me down, right? At least they gave you a chance, because you won't be anybody if it wasn't for them. So you have to give them some respect, right? You're alive, right? So give them respect like that, man. Give them. And afterwards you were like, I told you so. Actually, I gave them shit for not giving it me earlier, because when Bitcoin was around $1,000, $900, I was talking about it. When Ethereum was about $50, I was talking about it. But they just didn't trust me, man. I was like 16. I was 16. And it was actually my IT teacher who sat there and sold me into this lifestyle. It started with my IT teacher. And he sat there one day and we were cool. Like, I was 16 years old. We were cool. And he sat there, complete nerd. And he's like, look, he's like, I'm going on a holiday. I'm like, where? 4 Seasons. I'm like, man, this guy is being paid from our school, man. What is our school charging on these fees, man? How is he going 4 Seasons, Maldives? Like, what holiday? He's like, yeah, then I'm going here and stuff like this. And I'm like, how did you do that? He's like, oh, there's something called crypto. And then I once walked in and he was looking at it and he quickly closed the tab. And he made like, in like a month, he made like, $50K, And I was absolutely shocked, And it got me hooked, man. And I was saying, you have to I didn't have money at that time. I said, you have to give me money. We have to put money in. We have to, please. Nah. But eventually they did, and it all works out for best. So, it's good. Happy about that. So, that's how it is, man. Tradesharpe, did you buy a watch to tell the time or for social image? No, I bought a watch to tell myself how important time is in life. I've had time taken away from me. I've had time given to me. And I realize how valuable time is. Every time I look at my watch, I realize how valuable that time is and how hard it is and how expensive time can be. It's a representation of craftsmanship that's taken time to build. It's a representation of class. And it's also, I don't like to wear designer. I like to collect timepieces because it's a representation of how hard you work, right? It's not a flex item. A flex item is a diamond watch with something extremely flashy. A nice watch that is built well, it's classy, nice face, nice dial, is gonna do a lot. And also, yes, it helps with social image. As someone young, a lot of people don't give me respect because they don't know who I am or how I spoke about how I speak. So I needed that watch also to get me a bit of respect. You look a lot more mature with a watch, and it did work. I actually started a lot of conversations with successful entrepreneurs thanks to my watch. Is it the same achieved on a Timo Rolex? Unfortunately not. What was the name of that Rolex? It's something like, it had like something weird in it. Pogdar? No, it has something. Goal is to get dad's car on the road. Casio all the way. Yeah, Casio will give you respect as well, man. That's a classic thing. Casio will actually get you just as much respect. So if you can't afford the Rolex, wear the Casio, man. If you can't afford a Casio, yo, man, what the fuck you doing, bro? The one with the calculator you need to be rocking. Oh, this is beautiful, man. It's an old Alfa Romeo, right? If I'm not wrong. Is this? Probably wrong. Oh yeah, I've got it correct. Good. Nice, man. Yeah, that's a great goal, man. That's a nice car, man. What watch did you get? Yeah, it's Rolex, but we don't need to discuss. Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Doesn't affect you. It's for me to enjoy. Harry, can you explain daylight savings, London session, how it affects us? Where are you, bro? I mean, if you don't have daylight savings, then your session gets shifted by 1 hour forward. So London opens at 12 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna head off stream now. We're taking a trade here. I'm not seeing much happening. I might trade DAX a little bit later, but it's dumping. So if we can create structure on DAX and then close below, I'll probably look for DAX sells here and look to sell DAX in this zone. So that would be my plan there, but that's how it is. I'm from Canada. Next week, your times will adjust. So now everything is 1 hour later for you. 1 hour later until next week. Next week, your times will adjust. It will all go back to normal. So yeah, I appreciate you all. Take care. Trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Hope to see you on stream tomorrow and show up on time. You know, I know the time shift and a bit of technical difficulties. Not many people showed up today, but nevertheless, I hope that fixes itself. So take care, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Peace. See you guys.